Speech on. 0 hours. Switch button. 0 hours. 0 minutes. And 4 seconds. 0 hours. 0 minutes. Speech off.
What's up, guys? Jedi Warrior back with a video that I have not made an update to in, oh Lord, I don't even know how long anymore. But it has been a long time since I did a update to the Mortal Kombat, the Lego figure collection that I started. Oh, that was that was at least 2013, 2012 when I started making these characters, and they don't look at all like they used to. So let's go ahead and get started because there's 2 full rows of these things. The first character is Scorpion. I'm actually pretty proud of this one. He has black legs and a black torso with black arms and hands, and there's a yellow vest piece over his torso, or at least most of it. He has a black mask and a skull headpiece. There's a sword holder on his back, which I believe is black, at least I sure hope it is. And the katana in the sword holder is actually orange. I had black ones, but I changed it to orange to make it look like the blade was on fire, because it typically is. Then his kunai is a gray chain piece with a black tooth in the tip. I toyed with the idea of using an orange chain to make it look like it was on fire, but I didn't want to go too overboard with the flaming accessories. Next, Sub-Zero. He is wearing a blue ninja gi, and the reason I didn't use a black ninja gi on Scorpion is because you can't see most of the detail on it. Sub-Zero has a blue mask, a blue, I think it's supposed to be like a hood. It's a really weird piece. And then he has his trademark sword using the flame piece from the more recent Marvel and DC pack of energy pieces, along with a blue hilt, the only one I have ever seen. Then he's carrying a shield, which is a blue, or like a transparent blue 2x2 tile with a right angle piece stuck onto the back of it so he can hold it. Another one I'm pretty proud of. Next is Raiden. He's seen a major update since the last video I did. Last video I did, he had lightning in his hands. This one does not. He has a blue torso with white arms, flesh hands, and white legs, and I don't even know what color the hat piece is. It's just a disc. It's not the normal hat piece. And then for his staff, I used a long bar piece. I think they use it on a lot of guns for the Star Wars sets, but I always thought of it as more of like a sparring sword. A hollow stud and one of the Ninjago dragon hilt pieces. And he holds on to the dragon. It's not the head. Then we have Dark Raiden. Black legs, black torso, gray belt, gray sleeves and flesh hands, black cape, dark gray rice hat, and lightning swords, meaning a lightning bolt and a lightsaber hilt. And he's using 2 of them, because that is the one difference, other than personality, between him and Good Raiden, was the dark one. He actually uses the lightning swords. Which, speaking of which, I really wish in Mortal Kombat 11 when he uses those that we actually got to use those in gameplay, although he does have a fatality using those. Next, Liu Kang. He has been updated slightly. Well, his outfit has. He is wearing the classic red pants, black belt, red jacket, and black hairpiece as the Thor hairpiece. I used the Shang-Chi face to give him the like Chinese look. The face didn't look great on Shang-Chi. It doesn't look great on him, but it's passable. He has red sleeves and flesh hands. Actually, I think I gave him black hands for the bracers, which he also has wristbands on to complete those. And to make the arm gauntlets, I just cut the center out of a pair of handcuffs. And then he has a pair of nunchucks with a gold chain. Could have used orange, but I don't have an orange short chain. The only thing I think that can make this Liu Kang better is if they made like the Thor hairpiece dual molded with a red bandana, or a bandana in general. Next is the zombie version of Liu Kang. He has red pants, a gray torso, gray sleeves and gray hands because he was shirtless, but he had gray skin. A gray Darth Vader face with a hairpiece that hides most of the scars. I think the hairpiece is like a young Anakin from Star Wars. And then this version now has the short black chains with hooks on them. The hook I used is actually designed for boat anchors, but it's the best I have, and it's passable. Next, we have Johnny Cage. I went with the Mortal Kombat 11 Johnny Cage because I don't really have yellow. He has black pants, blue vest, and he's sleeveless. He has gray hands for his brass knuckles. And then he has a Superman head and hairpiece. The head is because of the glasses on the alternate face. If you take the hair off, he has heat vision, but I don't use that face. And then he used to have nunchucks, but I took those off and he just has his force ball, which is a green fireball piece. I do want to make classic Johnny if I ever get yellow pants. Next is Sonya Blade. She has a dark, like olive green leg and torso piece. Green arms for the sleeves of the jacket, a Ray face, and it's actually Black Canary's hairpiece in blonde, obviously. She has gray hands for her power gloves and a black utility belt, which I took off of an old Batman, but it makes Sonya look way cooler. Next is Kano, the first out of this lot, at least of the main characters, not counting the alternates, that I really am not proud of. I wish I could do this one better. He is black with a red belt piece, a black torso with some red detailing. I think it's actually from like a First Order pilot from Star Wars. He has a gold head, which makes it look entirely cybernetic, which is not right, but you do what you do. You do what you can. And then he has two machete pieces, which is about the closest thing you're going to get to what he uses. Though in the more recent games, he doesn't use butterfly knives. He uses just a straight up shank. So I could change those up, but I don't need the machete pieces for anything else. Next, in the first new edition, I finally was able to make a somewhat accurate Goro. He has red legs because in the classic games he wore a Speedo. And the forearm torso from Ninjago for the Overlord, Garmadon. A bunch of different characters use it now. I lost track. Which means he isn't right. I replaced the bottom one with like a flesh tone almost. The top one has armor on it. I don't even know what head he has, but I replaced the top or the hairpiece with a black ponytail piece that studs into the top rather than wrapping around the whole head. It's actually from Doomsday, so it actually might be white, but I think it's black. Not a great Goro, but I did honestly the best I think I can with the parts that Lego makes. Next we have Shang Tsung. Black legs, black leather jacket. The torso is actually a jacket because it shows a gold zipper. Yellow shoulder pads because he has like gold pads and I don't have gold pieces. An old man face that I found somewhere, he even has a beard. And the old Superman hairpiece, which might be inaccurate. Long black sleeves for the jacket and flesh hands because I don't think he wears gloves, although in MK11 he does wear bracers, so I guess I could make him gray if I wanted to add some more detail. Next is the Reptile. This is the Armageddon design. I really want to make the human design from MK1, which looks cool. He has light green legs, a shell patterned green torso, probably from a Ninja Turtle. A Ninjago snake general head. Cannot recall which one it's from, but it has spikes and everything else. It doesn't really look like him from the back, but he does actually look like him. The color is off though. And then he has a green sword, kind of like he spit poison on the blade. Could have given him his force ball piece, but I decided not to. Actually, I just now had that thought. Next is Baraka. Another one I'm really not proud of. I mean, I don't hate it. He has red legs, a black torso because they don't make shortless torsos, although I did give him flesh arms and hands. He has an Outrider face from the Avengers Infinity War sets, mainly because the grill on those things is nasty. The blade pieces I put in his hands are the top of a machete, or not machete, scythe from Ninjago. And the way they come forward, they kind of look like Baraka's blades. They're too big and they're too big top to bottom, and they're too short. And they stick back behind his wrists. And they go in his hands, but you can't make an accessory to go on someone's wrists in Lego. That's one thing they need to do. Next is Katana. She has light blue or dark blue legs, a black belt, light blue torso, sleeveless and gloveless. And she's wearing a blue mask because I actually managed to get that in under the Wonder Woman hairpiece that I gave her. I honestly don't know how I did that. And the reason I gave her the Wonder Woman hairpiece is to give her the tiara, which is just about the closest thing I can get to the circlet that she wears in MK11 after she becomes Khan. Still not happy with the fans for Katana. They're just swords basically, but they're bigger. They kind of look like a closed fan, but when her fans are closed, they look like knives. So maybe I should give her some kind of knife. They make actual Lego fans, but they are, the one color they've made them in is like a transparent orange. Not great for Katana. Next is her sister, Melina. She's wearing all pink, no color variation, except for the fact that she's sleeveless and gloveless. Could have given her silver or maybe black hands, because she does have hand claws, kind of like Black Panther almost in MK11, but I didn't. I opted to give her size. The size are gold, actually. I found a pair of gold ones. She has I think it's a red mask. I could have went with black, but I think I did have a spare red mask when I made her. And a black hairpiece from a Ninjago Cole figure. I actually made this figure out of the Gamers Market set that came out in 2020, which I did buy that set, but mainly just for spare parts, because I made a lot of characters off of that. Shurchenko, Cyrax, Melina here. I came close to making a lot more. And I probably made a few more that I can't remember. Yeah, I was making sure I said everything I wanted to for Melina. Next is Jade, one of my personal favorites. She has dark green legs, black belt, light green torso, sleeveless and gloveless, green mask, hairpiece that I think is from like the Pirates theme. It's the right color, which is black, and right length. And she has a black bow staff piece, which is just a long bar piece. I don't even think this piece is actual Lego, but it worked. I had it on hand, and it fits. Next is Kung Lao. He's all white. I might have given him like a gold belt, but I don't know. I don't know why I would. He doesn't have one. White sleeves, flesh hands. I don't know what face I gave him because the hat hides most of it. This is the second model of Ninjago rice hats. And then I put the same gauntlet things on his hands that I did for Liu Kang to make his bracers. Next is Jax. Dark green completely, or like the army green. He has gray arms and hands, a black head, and a green beret piece, along with two machine pistol pieces. I probably could have given him like a rocket launcher if I wanted to reference one of his MKX variations, but I opted not to. Next is Smoke. MK9 Smoke, specifically, minus the mask. He's full gray with a little bit of black. He has a black belt and black gloves, long sleeves, gray face. Actually, a Darth Vader face with the long gray hairpiece I found hides most of the scarring. I used to have like smoke effect pieces, which are actually just some old spider webs, but I updated him after Mortal Kombat 1 came out and gave him his knife, which the blade is a bit too big for what I had, or for what the knife is, but with what I had, it's just a handle and a Ninjago Fang blade piece. But the actual blade is too big. Here we have Noob Saibot, the Mortal Kombat 11 version, finally. Full black. Nothing on him is not black. I even found a black head. And he has a black mask. Actually, I think I might have went with a white head, because in that game he has like really bright white eyes that stand out. Black hood that actually goes around the mask. This is the hood from the Knight of Ren character, or one of them. Then he has a sickle in his hand. I'm actually glad I was able to make this version. I need to remake the one I used to have, where he was the full ninja look with the shuriken. Here we have Shao Kahn. He's not full black. He's actually mostly gray. Gray legs, black torso, or black belt. He has a gold armor piece. I'm actually not sure what color his torso is. I think it might be black. He has a gold armor, gray arms and hands for his armor because he was fully armored up. He has a gold, I think it's Shredder, the Ninja Turtle villain. It's his helmet, which gives him the horns, and completely unintentionally, the faceplate snapped off of that helmet. So it actually looks a little more accurate for like the MK9 Shao Kahn. His hammer is a flick fire missile base piece. a hollow stud, and then Thor's hammer stuck onto the top of it. The bottom part is just to make the hammer longer, because his hammer was just way too big. Sindel, dark purple legs, light torso, black belt, black sleeves, and I think flesh hands. Might even be flesh sleeves. She has her Kwandao, which is a Ninjago hair or a Ninjago piece. The hairpiece I gave her is the right length, but it's not the right color. It's brown, which her hairpiece is like the reverse of a skunk. It's like white with a black stripe down the middle. The only thing I think I could do with Sindel is give her like the alternate face for Black Canary where she's screaming. That would work perfectly for her. I just don't have a second Black Canary, and I'm not about to cannibalize that one. Sector, full red, a little bit of black. He's got a black belt and I think black hands. Might actually even be a flash torso under there. I'm not really sure. Red head from a Praetorian Guard. He has a red katana for his pulse blade. On his chest, I used the neck bracket backward and put a rocket coming out of there. It's one of the pieces from the Marvel and DC figure pack or parts pack. Out of his that's left. Out of his left hand is a jet of fire because his fatality in MK3 was a flamethrower out of his hand. If I have a red katana, I might switch that out for a pulse blade, because he did use 2 of those. Next is, after Nightwolf decided to fall, Cyrax. All yellow, thanks to the Harumi character from the Gamers Market. Yellow head even. Orange katana, because they don't make yellow. It's for his pulse blade. He has the saw blade piece from that same parts pack out of his chest, which it is a little bit too big, but that fits with Mortal Kombat. Realism was not their strong suit. And in his other hand, he's carrying the bomb piece from that accessory pack. I could swap those and leave him carrying nothing in his left hand, but I wanted to have all 3. He also has some black detailing on the belt. Like, he's not all yellow. Nightwolf. Blue legs, brown torso. Could have that backwards. Red face. It has no face on it, but it's the right skin color. Black hair. He has a quiver on his back and is carrying 2 hatchets. I wish I could give him Green Arrow's bow, since when Nightwolf goes to use his bow, it like glows green. Would have made it more accurate, but I used what I had. Cabal. Black legs, black trench coat piece, or torso. It actually has the jacket detailing. That's one of the things I was able to get right. Full black sleeves and hands. He has the canister on the back, or the air tank, a visor on the front with a piece that's actually connecting them, and there's a cap piece on top, not like a baseball cap, but like just to cover the top of his head, which actually makes his head look too big, but using what I had, that's the big update to him. And actually before this, and I might go back to this, I'm not sure how accurate this is. Before this, I was using the Star-Lord helmet piece from the Marvel Collectible series, the T'Challa Star-Lord piece, which the only problem with that was he had hair with that helmet, and Cabal doesn't have hair. And then he has the hook sword pieces from the... these are actually pieces from the pod racer they made in 2019 that were hooked under the engines. I think they were just supposed to be like rusted out metal pieces because they are like a rust red brown. But they look a lot like hook swords, so much that when Dad and I were building the set, he took the piece off the set, handed it to me, and said Cabal. I looked at it and said, "No, you're kind of right." So, if even someone like my dad noticed that and pointed it out, I figured I might as well use them because he knew I was having some serious issues making Cabal. Striker. Blue legs, black belt, blue cop torso because it even has a badge on it, a blue cap backward, like a baseball cap, and then he's using 2 batons. He's also sleeveless. Actually, he has blue sleeves, but he's gloveless. That was my bad. Not much to Striker, but he's pretty accurate for what he is. Ermac. I love the update I made to this figure. I used a ninja's red ninja's torso, red sleeves, and then green hands. But I also put some green studs in his hands with some right angle adapter pieces to make it look like he's shooting them out. I almost made like a stack of the green to make it look like he was using a beam of the energy, but I decided not to. He has a black head and hood. Kind of to mimic the fact that you can't really see his face through his mask, but I went for the hood approach. Then I used black legs, but I put a red cloth cama over it, so all you can really see are the bottom of it, and it makes it look like he has red legs with black boots. Not dual molded, but the best I could come up with. I love that figure because I was trying to update him with the MKX look, and I think it looks pretty cool. Next is Rain. I love his MKX costume as well. Full purple with a little bit of black. There's some black detailing on the torso, and he has a black belt. Purple arms and hands. I give him the arm bracelets with the handcuffs. He has a katana in one hand, which that's just a holdover from the Armageddon design. And when I fully make him the MKX, I'll replace that with a second water piece, and he has a water piece in his other hand. He has a black mask and black shoulder pads. I would have given him a purple mask, but actually I might. That's a good idea. I think I'm actually going to give Rain a blue mask instead of black. Black shoulder pads. He has a white cape on right now. I was going to give him a purple one, and then I made a mistake. I put the white cape on him. It's actually meant for another character that I'm in the process of making, which is Crom from Smash Bros. But it looks cool on Rain. So I decided to leave it on him so I wouldn't lose the cape. And until I get a purple cape. Serena is next. Could have made this one better, especially if I had the right sword. But she is full black, a little bit of silver on her, which was not intentional. Sleeveless and gloveless, black friend's hairpiece, and 2 knives, which I believe she uses size in the Mythologies game, Sub-Zero Mythologies, which is kind of what I based this off of. Well, I based it off the Armageddon appearance because I used to love Serena in that game. But when I couldn't find a way to make her sword in a satisfactory way, I decided to just go look back and see what else she used, and apparently she used knives in that game. Next is Trimmer. Black pants, brown torso, arms, hands, a brown head, because he was like rock skinned almost, black hood, and 2 brown studs, or no, they're gray, my bad, 2 gray studs, in his hands with the right angle adapter pieces to make them. They look too much like energy blasts, but I was intending them to look like he was conjuring up the rocks that he throws. Jarek. God, I hate this character. Full black, because I didn't care to add any more detail on him. Black hair. His weapon is a kick-axe, which is a brown bar to make it look like a wooden handle. I don't know how to describe this piece. It's like an adapter between, or like one end is a hole for a bar and the other end is a clip. On that clip is the same blade piece I used for Baraka's arms that comes down and forms the axe. Here is Kai. I think if I remember how I made him, he's got black legs, a red torso, black arms, and flesh hands. Could have some of those colors inverted. Black face and black hair. I actually used a fin hairpiece. And his mace is weird. I didn't have the actual like mace piece, so I took a lightsaber handle, a spring-loaded or a flick fire missile piece, and a 1x1 with studs on 5 of the sides, an anti-stud on 1. Put those together in the exact order I described them, and then put the gold 1x1 stud with a bar coming out of the top and a mini peg hole on those, which they introduced to hold the Infinity Stones back in 2018 for the Marvel sets. I took like 5 of those, put them on the studs, and I actually put another one on the back end of the handle. I don't know why, I just think it looks cool. Like, that was just one of those, this looks cool, so I'll keep it kind of decisions. If I ever get a mace piece, it's either going to him, or if I've made Havoc at that point, it's going to him. Quan Chi, full black, a little bit of gold detailing, like he has a gold belt, and I think there's some gold on the torso by accident. He has a black armor piece for his shoulder armor. The pieces on the back kind of look like where his axes would hook onto in MKX, which I don't even know why he had those, but on the action figure I have, he has like axes on his shoulders. And then he has his 2 swords. I'm really not even sure how to describe those. And then the head I got is like a really pale head. I'm not even sure how I came by that, but my dad even pointed it out because I accidentally had put it on Johnny. And he goes, wouldn't that make more sense for Quan Chi? Funny thing is, I had a bunch of these at a church function because I was bored. And I made that change sitting in a church banquet room. Here we have Tanya. She is all yellow, a little bit of black belt. When I typically want to add like an accent color, the only thing I can really do is a belt. She has brown arms and hands because she was sleeveless, but she has brown skin. Although her face is white skinned because I didn't have another brown one. And her hair is kind of like the Sindel one. Same color even. And then I gave her a 3-section staff, which is her new weapon in Mortal Kombat 1. I could have given her a Naginata, but I wanted to get rid of the Tonfa pieces that I was using for her because, one, those weapons were made up for Tanya, and I wanted to use a real weapon. And 2, I don't have a spare Naginata, and I could make the 3-section staff. So I did what I could. Next is Fujin. He's seen an update. He is full blue to make his MK11 outfit. He has tan arms and hands because he was sleeveless, and he's tan. And the blue is like a dark blue. It's not like light blue like a ninja or something, or like one of the ninja. In his hand, he's carrying a crossbow. On his back, which I had to use an armor, like a shoulder piece, as the sword holder, so he looks like he has shoulder armor, but he's not supposed to. I almost cut those off, but I don't want to ruin the piece. On his back, he's carrying a sword. He is using a black hairpiece that actually came off. It's the Fennec Shand character from, well, Mandalorian. She's been in a few things. I think she was in Book of Boba Fett. I got her in Cad Bane's Justifier. But she came with that spare hairpiece. So this is a young Fujin. He's not quite got the white hair yet because I don't have a cool white hairpiece for him. Here is Shinnok. Blue legs. I finally got some longer ones for him. Gray torso. I think I used a regular face. Brown Robin hairpiece. Gray arms and gray hands. The hands are actually for the bone hands that he uses in MKX. Some of the gray on the torso would be gold, but I don't have any little pieces of armor to go on there. He has a red cape and a sickle piece, but it's from Ninjago. Wow, I don't even know what set that came in. It might have been Samurai X. I got it from Spartan, but it's gold. It's not bone colored like his was, because he was made out of bone. But it looks like a bone sickle. Better than the sickle I made for him. Next is Kenshi, my man. He's full blue. He's the same powder blue like Fujin was. Same blue arms, but he's gloveless. I used an old Batman headpiece to get the blindfold across the eyes, and a Superman hairpiece, along with a gold katana. That Kenshi figure has never once changed. Fun fact. He's one of my older figures that hasn't undergone a change. Baraicho, full brown, completely. Legs, torso, arms, hands. A brown, practicing sword, sparring stick piece for his cane. And you can't make a fat man out of Lego, so I gave him a beer jug. I think it's actually a tea mug with a top piece to it, but it kind of looks like a beer bottle. I should have just given him, I have an extra bottle piece. I should have given him that, but I think I gave it to Simon Belmont. And then he has a brown hairpiece. I see Frost decided to fall over. Here we have Frost. This is not the MK11 design, although maybe that's sometime in the future. She's dark blue with flesh, arms, and hands. A lighter blue hood. And she has the smaller of the two flame pieces coming out of her hands. She has two of them for ice blasts. Sub-Zero had the bigger one for his sword. Here is Natara. Black legs, red top, sleeveless. I don't have a vampire face that isn't Morbius, or I would have given it to her. She has a black Friends hairpiece, the Batman wings from the 2017 Lego Batman movie, which work. And her weapon is two commas chained together. Could have given her claws, but the only claws I have are Wolverine's. Mavado. Another full black one, because I didn't care enough about him to put any more detail on him. Fin hairpiece, actually. And he has the same hook swords as Cabal. Because in the game, he killed Cabal and took his hook swords. Li Mei. Literally just made this last night. It is her MK1 design because I don't have purple. Red legs, gray torso, I think it's a brown ponytail. It's the short one. And in her hand, I haven't given her sword yet because I don't know if I have a spare one, and that's only a Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, or actually that's just Deception. She uses side knives in Deadly Alliance. She has her lantern here, which I use just the lantern piece, and inside of it are two red studs. There's a gray one on, or a gold one on the bottom to make the bottom of the lantern. And I would have given her pink studs in the lantern, but I don't have any. So that's the closest I can get. I'll give her sword probably, which is just a dowel. Same blade Lloyd uses a lot in the Ninjago sets, so I have a couple of spares. Here is Suhao. Green legs, white torso with like a symbol over the chest or the heart. He has it's like a green cap with the symbol on the front. It is actually the hat from like an Imperial crewman or something like that. In his hand, I use the Inquisitor hilt, the round one with the bar in the middle, and two of the long knife pieces. I don't even know how to describe those. They're like rubbery, they're triangle shaped, they're a good inch long, inch, maybe inch and a half. And because they wouldn't stay in there on their own, there's a couple of hollow studs holding them in. And previously I'd just been using a handle, like a lightsaber handle, but I found that piece and was able to upgrade him. Here we have Shojinko, tan pants, white shirt, I think it's like a white tunic, an old man face, but you can't see most of it, white hair thanks to Harume from the Ninjago Gamers Market. In one hand he has Scorpion's Spear, and the other he has Sub-Zero's Ice Blast, which is just a blue ball piece, kind of like Johnny had, although Johnny's was green. And next is Hotaru. We have full black, a little bit of purple on the sides of the torso. I don't know why it was purple on the sides where you can't really see it, and then black on the front and back. He has a gold armor piece that actually has the proper neck guards that Hotaru's armor did. It's the wrong color, but it's an Anakin hairpiece in brown. It should be gray. And he has his Naginata in his hand, which is basically a cleaner version of a Guandao. And I had to build the flags on his back. He's actually currently missing one. I use the oblong triangle clip pieces. They use them for like little winglets on a lot of sets. I can't even think of one off the top of my head, but they use them on a lot of them. And here we have Ashra. She has seen an update. She's still full white with a light gray disc piece for her hat, because that's the closest you're going to get to white in that piece. And her sword, I used a lightsaber handle, and it's a Ninjago piece, but the sword has like it's almost like a dog leg shape, but it comes back in a point on the top. It's really weird. Actually, what I haven't been doing, I'm actually just going to show this piece. I think that's a pretty good shot of it right there. There's the character head on. But it is, well, there we go. Sorry, the camera might be pointed toward me a little bit, but I just realized I made a bad mistake on that one. Yeah, the only reason I did that is because I don't really know how to describe this piece. I think it's like a transparent yellow, too. It's the wrong color, but it's the closest thing I had. Here we have Cobra and Kira. Both of these, well, Kira is full black with flesh arms and hands, two knives in her hand. Knives. They're the shorter, thicker model. And a Black Widow hairpiece in red. Also Supergirl hairpiece. Cobra, black pants, white shirt, which is actually, his costume is literally a Taekwondo gi. White hands, or white sleeves, flesh hands. He has like blonde hair, which I have actually given to Asajj Ventress before. The really pale blonde, thin hair. And he has a machete. Here is Taven, who really needs fixed. He's also full black, which he was kind of like black and gold. And I think I did give him a gold belt. He has the Robin hairpiece, which has really seen better days. It's either the head or the hair. One of them is kind of old. And then I gave him a broadsword. Not really like his sword, but close as I can find. Here's Blaze. Now, the last time I did this one, he had no accessories, and he had the snake, like the fire snake tail piece for the bottom. I changed that. He now has full orange red legs and torso, and it's an orange head under the thing, under the headpiece. It's actually a Green Goblin pumpkin bomb. I don't know where this headpiece is from because I got it from a friend, but it's round like a normal Lego head, but it comes to a point on top to make it look more like it's flames instead of just his head. And then he has two fireball pieces, which he didn't really like throw fire, but I wanted to show like some fire coming off of him, and that's the best I could do. Here is Scarlet. She is full red with a black belt and a little bit of black detailing on the torso. Red arms and flesh hands, and she has a Leia hairpiece, as well as a red cape and two daggers, which I think they're actually like a Tonto blade is almost what it looks like, which Tonto is the suicide blade. I think that's what they're supposed to be, but I'm using them as her long daggers. Here we have Cassie. She's full army green with a little bit of black, like she has a black belt and maybe some detailing on the torso. I don't think so though. Flesh arms and hands. Thor hairpiece in the correct color actually, because it's blonde. Two pistols, and the pistols I made sure were like silver, because in MK11 I'm using a gear piece that turns her pistol silver. And I made sure to give her a cocky grin as a facial expression. One of the few facial expressions I actually got right on these. By accident. Jackie. Her costume I changed a little. She's like silver almost, but it's like almost like a silvery gray. She has the metal arms, hands, and the same gauntlets that Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and Rain did. She has a black face and short black hair. I don't remember if she had short or long hair. Here is Takeda. He is full black. Might be a little yellow on him. I think I was able to give him like a yellow belt. And maybe some detailing on the torso, but it's kind of modeled after his Shirai Ryu variant in Mortal Kombat X. He has the black piece for the bottom of the mask on an Ninjago character. I don't remember what season that was, but instead of the bandana top piece, which I probably should have given him, I gave him the actual bandana piece, and I think gray. I don't think it's black. In his hands are the like gauntlet pieces, and I put chains on the top of them. Probably could have put fang blades in the into the chains, but I decided not to, because he didn't have like blades on the end of the chains. They were just razor whips. Kung Jin is also updated. He is full brown this time, which I don't know why. With a Shaolin, why did they go brown? I mean, Liu Kang's red and black, Kung Lao's white and sometimes gray. Why brown? He's supposed to have one shoulder pad, but I don't have that. They make a piece that's like a quiver with one shoulder pad for a specific Ninjago character. I need to get that piece because it would be perfect on Kung Jin. He has a brown hairpiece, a bow in his one hand, and a chakram in his other hand. The chakram is actually the fan piece. Not fan, but almost like it's like a lift fan on like a jet engine. Let me just show it. It's that. It's a circular piece that has like a fan design in the center. Don't know why I struggled so much to describe that piece. Hair in black. Full gray and black, which I could have made that one a bit better, but I think that's about as close to his design as I can get. Gray sleeves, flesh hands. He has a pair of the flintlock pistols in his hands. He's wearing a dust rag piece, like a neckerchief. I actually cut the back of it off to get the neck bracket back there and put the rifle on his back. He also has his trademark cowboy hat. And now we have Kotal Khan. Character a lot of people hate. Oh man, what color did I make him? It's sad I don't even remember some of these anymore because I made them so long ago. I think I made him purple because he has like the blue paint. His helmet is red. It's the wrong color and it has a faceplate. But it's Captain Marvel's helmet and there's a feather coming out of the top. Which the feather is green. Not the right color. Not real proud of this figure. He has the same disc piece that Kung Jin did for his throwing disc in Mortal Kombat X and 11. Speaking of which, the brutality for that is amazing. And the sword piece that I used for Katana's fan actually works really well for him because his sword was just a square or a rectangle in MK11. That thing looked like a blunt object. You should not be cutting people up with that because there's no cutting edge. Next, we have Ferritor. Whoops, knocked the arm off. I did a build video on this character titled Building Ferritor in Lego. And I think I did an okay job with it. I don't really know because no one's made a comment on that. So I'm not going to show this figure or try to describe it because I really couldn't do that. If you want to know what he looks like or they look like, go back and watch that video. Here we have Geras. He has black pants, brown torso because he had like almost sand colored skin. There's some gray detailing on the torso. Black hair piece, which I don't even know if he had hair. And then for his knuckle duster, I used to have just a big fist piece, but this is kind of the same thing, but one, it's a bit bigger, or longer, I should say, and there's like some fire detailing on it. It came in one of the Eternals sets from Marvel, which I'd really thought they were going to be using more of that piece, but they haven't. I only have one of them, and it's on him now. Here we have Cetrion. She is full green. I think I gave her green arms and hands. And she has the blonde hairpiece from old Luke, which it's more of a tan, but it's supposed to be blonde. And then she has a green disc piece on a right angle adapter because I was really not sure what to give her for an accessory. I had no clue what to use. Here we have Collector. He's all black because even after asking my dad, he wasn't even sure how to tell me to make this character. He just said with what I have, that's probably the best I could do. I'm using it's a 2x2 stud neck bracket adapter piece, but on the front it almost looks like backpack straps coming over the shoulders, which he was wearing a backpack. Actually, it almost looks like a climbing harness. I think that's what it might be because the straps come down the chest. On that backpack piece, I mounted 4 arms. They're like little mini droid arms, but that's the best I could do on that one. In his actual hands, he's holding a bola, which is a stone-weighted chain. On his head, he has like a white, I think it's supposed to be a turban piece. I should have just given him a black hood. But I don't know that would have been right. I've made better figures. That's not a great note to end on, but that is the last character. Oh, and then I have a Beyblade here. Forgot I had him on the stand because I got nowhere else to put him. Good Lord. That is all of the characters that I've made. There are some I would still like to make. I'd still like to be able to make a Reiko, which I have not been able to do yet. I think that's it. If I forgot anything, whoops. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and peace out.